Hey folks, we already had this series once. It was Dark. It was classic. Dark popped him in the GSL Group A, but hopefully this is going to be a little bit different. I can promise you at the very least, the games are much higher quality than they were in the GSL last week. So enjoy it. But before we get into this, of course, reminder, like, comment, subscribe to this video. It really, really does help. And also I stream on Twitch every Monday, EPT North America, every Tuesday, Thursday, NA Apprentice, 7 p.m. Eastern for that. Saturday and Sunday for the EU Ascension League, 1 p.m. And then Saturday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern, EPT Korea, and other things as they happen. But for now, it's Dark. It's classic. Spawning in the bottom right, he is the super ace for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. At least one of them. Give it up for Dark. His opponent in the upper left in the red, excuse me, for AlphaX, the GSL Champion Classic. Well, former GSL champion, but one of the greatest Protoss to ever play the game. Some say he is the living embodiment of Protoss, which is funny because Classic has a mouth, and we all know Protoss don't have mouths. So I'm not really sure where to go with that one. I don't know. Just saying. Just saying. In fact, we know that Protoss look down on those that are so inferior entities that they need to consume and communicate with their mouths. Thank you, whatever adept that was in the campaign that I forget that I played through only once. I've been talking about this a little bit. We're talking about it in PvP, but in the context of PvZ as well, I am very curious to see how ZVP shakes out. We saw Classic kind of get bopped by DRG. He had this really cool proxy Tempest build that he used on Roughneck for GSL, and that looked good, but I mean, he lost to a DRG that queen walked and then had to run home, that forgot that you couldn't queen walk the way he did it anymore. So I don't know. I don't know that this matchup has been solved anyways. It's certainly the wild west. The patch really did seem to be focused more than anything else about dealing with PvZ, because while PvZ was arguable as to who race was favored, you look at Aligulac and you say in February Protoss won 60% of the games, but there's also a lot of lower level stuff, and you know the top 5 Zergs literally just could not be touched. I don't know. That's the argument that I'm not going to get into tonight. But point being, it was a pretty horrendous thing to watch. Was really the big deal, regardless of how the balance was, how it wasn't. DVP was boring as hell. Not a good spot. It was just not a good spot for the game to be in. So from that perspective, very glad that we saw the games, well, that we saw that patch happen. We're gonna have to see what happens now though, because this is a very, very quick fleet beacon coming on down from Classic in this game number 1. By the way, folks, this is a bit of a revenge match here. Classic was 2-0'd by Dark as Dark smashed his group in GSL Group A last Monday. Sorry if this is a spoiler, but I figure by the time you're watching this is either live and it's a week late and you're a diehard fan, or it's 2 weeks late, and then by then, I mean, we're gonna be in the next round of the GSL. So anyways, oh, Vordre will get a drone. Very nice, Mr. Classic. But second Stargate on the way. Fleet Beacon is done. He's going for Tempests and the ground damage. Tectonic destabilizers are on the way. And there's a spot, actually, in the bottom side of Curious Minds where there's some dead airspace. You can start to shell away at gas, things like that. Zerglings are going to try to find their way on in, but they're not going to find much of anything. Devil Tempest on the way, though. We're getting cheeky. Classic in this game, number one. I am absolutely here for it. Dark going for an... Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I was not paying attention. This is a very quick lair. Lair is done before 5 minutes. Hydra Den already on the way. And, well, Tempests are very good against things like Queens. They're very good against things that don't shoot up. Although, jury's out on them being good against Zerglings because, well, there are a lot of Zerglings and Tempests don't fire all that fast. Against Hydras, if they don't find themselves in a really nice spot, the Hydras will chew them up, spit them up, rip them down. Rawhide. Something like that. But now the Tempests are arriving onto the other side of the field. It's only a single one right now. Queens are in a decent position to deal with. This is a bonus damage to structures, not ready just yet. Not really like that really impacts the Queens all that much. Oh, Queen drop. Queen drop Hydra Bus coming on in from Dark in this game, number one. This is a way to Queen walk. And Dark showing us, okay, there's a new way to play this game. We're going to have to see because the Tempests are really going to do a good job of zoning things out. Oh, the hot pickup. He's dodging the Tempest shots. Dark is just too spicy in this game, but eventually his Overlord may go down. That's still a lot of Queen energy being used on things that are not, well, transfusing for the push. So for right now, with 5 Tempests on the field, we are starting to see some Queens fall. That's almost a... That was almost 4 dead Queens really easily, but the Overlord goes down. Queens are starting to fall now, but the Hydras on the other side of the map, those are the problem. One Tempest gets low, but it's fine. It's alive. But the Hydras, again, they're on the other side of the map. Ling Hydra at 630. Who does this? I don't know, but Dark does. Probes are going to get forced on out. Void Rays and Tempests are going to be the defense here, and it looks like we have a shield battery, at the very least, for shield battery overcharge. Meanwhile, what are the Tempests doing on the other side? They're killing off Hydras. It looks like 1 Tempest. 2 Tempests have died. And that should stop things for now. There we go. The Hydras are going down. How low is this third base? It's very low, and the Hydras are not really out enough force. They're preventing the Tempest from finding their way forward. This much is true, but the third base, it's going to fall, maybe. Oh, there we go. 1 Tempest goes down. It's got to find the spot. It's got to find the spot. It's all, I don't even know. It's maybe worth selling out here. The Hydras are going to be returning. The Tempests are not getting the shot that they need. And I feel like at this point, the Tempests are so low. You have so few of them. Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, he's got it right now. The Tempest is going... the third base is dead. There we go. But 1 Tempest will die in the exchange. Again, I feel like at this point, it's almost worth it because this is a 2-base Protoss to a 2-base Zerg, and that will almost always favor the Protoss player. Some more gateways getting added on in. Tempest just sitting in the dead airspace being annoying. Now, of course, he has range to kill these things that are sitting there, but he does not really have the vision. So again, Tempest in the corner. And it looks like Hydras actually... Oh, no, they do not. If only there was an observer, he could wreak hell above that. But this Tempest, I'm surprised we don't see a recall, but I guess class... Oh, there we go. Actually, there is the recall. So what do we got? We're at 4 Tempests on the field, 2 more on the way. Additional gateways getting added on in as the Twilight has been... Oh, this is cool. So, this, folks, is a new iteration on Stargate into Glaives. A little bit different. A lot different, actually. But you go Tempest for a while, you kill the third base. You have to kill this third base. That's the point of the build. And then you lose your third because your opponent goes for a Ling Hydra timing. Maybe we want to call it all in. And then you get a bunch of Glaive Adepts that kill all the Lings and kill all the Hydras because bonus damage to light is a masterful thing. And yeah, Classic is in a great spot in this game. The Tempest, the surround from every side of Depth's going to shade on top of all of these Hydras. And Mo Glaives are not done just yet. They still do a damn fine job. Bonus damage to light is a good thing. Classic, he's up double the army supply here. Now, the Spores are going to be annoying. And they will keep the army out for just a moment, but we have bonus damage to structures. The Tempests are going to be able to shred all of these Spores, and of course, with Prismatic Alignment as well. That is going to be the end of that one. 1 Spore goes down. Classic finding his way on in. Glaives are not done yet, so maybe you wait a little bit, but certainly what we have now is Classic. He's opening up a window. He's opening up a door. In fact, he's opening up a damn wall in this game, number 1, and there's not a whole lot that Dark can do. He's going to lose the third base once again, so now it's a 3-base Protoss versus a 2-base Zerg. The Corruptors, they arrive. They're going to try to shoot things down, but it really is a game of the stuff on the ground here. All the probes are getting pulled. 16 workers go down. Yeah, the Corruptors are fighting. They're not dying too quickly, but they're not killing stuff anyways. The Queens are falling. The Hydras are falling. The Adepts are doing a damn fine job. And the Guardian Shield at the end. It's double army supply here. Classic, he takes this fight. He takes this game. He's up 1-0. Spawning in the upper right. In the red, he's up 1-0 because Tempest's good units. He is Classic. His opponent in the bottom left in the blue, going for a 12 pull in this game number 2. He is, for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark. Yeah, what we need for sure is Ryung just screaming, Imba, 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 Imba. But this is not nearly as Imba as the drone scout going on the other side of the map. Is this to block the Nexus, or is this to block? This is most likely actually to block the wall. This is a shout out to Seasons Pass. This is not something I have seen in a long ass time. So will the drone get the proxy hatch down? Looks like no, actually. So he's gonna, okay. He's not gonna be able to block the wall now. But what he is going to do is, by the way, this is scattered out. Classic knows what the hell is up. Classic should be able to get the full wall off here. Shield battery already. Wait, no, that's the second pylon. Because Cybercore is not up. So no shield batteries just yet. I think it's interesting that Classic has not pulled probes to defend this. In fact, he's not walling this off. Probe needs to. There at least needs to be a probe in the wall. There at least. Okay, there we go. There's the Zealot. But that guarantees that this hatchery does complete. That guarantees that this hatchery completes, which is kind of a complicated scenario. Excuse me, as the Zealot is going to try to meander on out. This is not the best wall to try to defend against a 12 pool. Because the Cybercore is in front of the gateway. It means that there's this wonderful space that you can kind of get tucked on in on as the Zealots. They're going to get fully surrounded here. Now the question is whether they can find their way on out, find their way into a corner. One Zealot will go down. Actually, the second Zealot's going to go down. Classic is not handling this the way he needs to just yet, but Adepts are going to be on the field rather soon. Shield batteries as well as a couple additional pylons. So the Zerglings should not be able to punch through. Well, actually, no, they're going to punch through this. We're going to need to see a rewall here. And with the creep, the rewall is a little bit complicated, but shield battery spends its energy. And it will keep that gateway alive. Additional shield batteries getting added on in. The Zerglings coming out. Pretty much the larva is ready. Oh. Sorry about that. Pretty much as the larva is ready. And now we're going to see that gateway go down, but there is a rewall here at the very least. The Zerglings surrounding on both sides, but okay, the addition of the Queen here makes things a little bit more complicated. Oh, wait, that's not a full wall. Dark can run on through here. I don't know that he's realized just yet, but Zerglings chase through the front side to the back side. Yeah, you can put Zerglings on in here, so he will be able to get the surround off. But with Stalkers and Adepts, it maybe, just maybe, Classic is going to have enough here, but more and more Zerglings, they're going to come piling on in. The Queen's just really not taking too much damage, but now here we go. Stalkers killing off the Queen. Queen's going to run away just a little bit. More and more Zerglings, they arrive. And by the way, folks, this is very all in from Dark. He's not building anything else. Yes, he has a natural, but he's still only on 12 probes. This is absolutely all in from the Dragon Phoenix Zerg. And it was not looking good for a moment. It did feel like Classic had what it takes. But he's actually locked on to the outside of the wall here. He doesn't have anything that can go contest this Queen. So Queen is actually spreading creep into the, or multiple Queens are spreading creep into the main base. And we're going to actually have to see the shield battery go down, which means lack of a wall in totality. Queens harassing drones, folks. When have you ever seen that one? I certainly have not. So Zerglings now, they're going to get a full surround here on top of one of these shield batteries in the natural. Probes getting pulled to try to surround. And while it was looking good for Classic for a moment, that was just because Dark was waiting for the next level of things. Now Warp Gate is under threat. It's going to go down. All the army of Classic is falling. More and more Zerglings on the way. I think Classic thought that his opponent was giving up. His opponent did not give up. There is no misery but the Zergling, as everything is going down here. The wall in the natural is dead. Classic is dead in this game. He just has yet to GG. And Void Ray's classic Void Rays will not save you in this game. Not at all. All right, so now Zerglings. Now they're going to find their way into the main base. Yeah, there's a shield battery, and I believe there should be shield battery overcharged once again. But with the 2 queens here and the Zerglings again, they're just targeting the shield batteries down. They have too much DPS for that, even as the shield battery tries to keep it alive. That just means the second shield battery is not going to have any energy. And I guess the goal here for Classic maybe would be to do enough damage to the queen so the Void Ray can punch right on through. And this is good. This is good hold position, Micro. But 2 queens should beat this Void, especially as the static defense is falling here from Classic. And I don't really have much more to say. This should be it, folks, especially with the spine getting added in. There's too much DPS. Now Dark has 14 drones. In fact, he's mining from the net. He's mining from Classic's natural. That's how you know this game is well and truly over. Queens, they're going to run on forward. They're starting to build transfuse energy now because there's creep in the Protoss player's main base. And there we have it. GG. Dark equalized the series 1-1. Spawning in the bottom left in the red here. Tied up in the series for AlphaX. Classic. In the upper right, in the blue, he 12 fooled and did a lot more. He is Dark. Yes, that was Claire that called me. I made the mistake of having the signal client open, and I forgot to turn it off before the stream started, which means ring, 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 ring. So, no 12 fool this game number 3. Classic at least will be spared that horror. Where does he go from here? What does he opt to do in this game? Because it's not quite fair to say, but it does feel like Dark is a better player. But that's fair to say, I think. So it does feel like a lot of the impetus, a lot of the requirements, I guess, on how Classic plays this game, or how this series goes, is contingent upon how Classic chooses to play. Because Dark, I mean, it feels like in a straight-up game, Dark will win, but we're going to have to see, because for now, well, Cybercore is halfway done. We're not going to have a solid idea of what exactly Classic is going to be going for up until that point. So now the probe running away. A couple Zerglings, they're scary dogs, and they will go arf, arf, arf. Although, what, aren't Zerglings like 6 feet tall in the lore, something like that? Something crazy like that. But there we go. Stargate is on the docket. This is certainly, or this feels like certainly a map that Classic could do what he did in game number 1. Sorry about that. This is 1-1, not 0-0. Because there's a lot of dead airspace to the right of Dark spaces. There is a decent amount off to the left, but really what we're looking at, if you look at potential utilities, the Adept finds the way on in. We'll take a look at that in a second. But Adept's just going to shade on out. You're looking at this spot right here. That's a significant position to shell into the main base and into what will be the third. And also, you got some dead air space right here that I think, if you have vision, you should be able to shell away from the high ground. So that Tempest play is certainly possible, but, well, we don't see a quick fleet beacon just yet, but this was, yeah, okay, this is not going to be that. Twilight going down. Void Ray on the way, so Stargate into ground. Most likely Stargate into Glaives, I guess. We saw, technically Classic did that in game number 1, but it was off a double Stargate and a third base and a fleet beacon, so a little bit different story. Just a little bit. Tiny amount. Just a small amount. Okay, there we go. Additional gateways getting added. There's a world where this is maybe some sort of weird deep play as well, but as we see going up to 4. Oh, Oh, okay, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a charge lot single void ray all in, I think, coming in from classic in this game. We saw similar builds, or charge lot archon, excuse me. We saw similar builds at the start of the void ray buffs. Players would go double void ray in that case into charge lot archon all in off 2 bases. It hit with 7 gates. It was really powerful. And would really hit, it would just absolutely catch the Zerg off guard because they're setting themselves up to deal with Stargate. And that's not what's happening. So third base on the way right now. I think this is a fake though. Classic he might even cancel this. He's getting his warp prism out right now. Charge is halfway done. He's adding on his additional gateways. He should go up to 6 or 7. And this third base, it's just to tell Dark that everything is normal. Nil noe sub soli, as the Romans would have said. Nothing new under the sun, or whatever star is lighting up glittering ashes. There we go. Archons are on the way. First one being morphed in just now. And there we go. That's the gateway explosion. Actually, he's going to go up to 8 gates. So this is even more committed than I thought it was. And that was tremendously, tremendously committed. So, this is cool. So notice what we have here. We have 1 Archon. We have 2 High Templar on the Warp Prism. That is not a mistake from Classic. There are 6 Queens on the map. He is looking. His goal is to just feed back a couple of them. Knock their energy out. Make it so that you do not have that. Oh, wait, never mind. Okay. Okay, well, I got excited. Turns out it was a mistake, and Archon's going to get morphed in. Okay. Well, sorry, folks. I tried. Players do make mistakes. I thought this was for some big feedbacks on the high energy queens, but now Archon drop will arrive, and this is again High Templar Archon drops. It's a little bit interesting, a little bit odd. Wait, 1 queen? No, the transfuse will be there. What do we have? That's a lot of queens. 7 queens are on the map. Dark taking his 4th base though, and he's going into lair. He does not have a lot of stuff. He's 9 roaches, 9 lings. And the queens are good, but okay, Dark now. He's got to hit that roach button. He sees the charge lots. He sees the army running onto the other side of the map. He says, wait, I've been bamboozled. I've maybe even perhaps been boom-bazzled. And so, panic mode. Roaches, Ravagers are on the way. You might even want to cancel the Spire. Just save the gas, save the minerals. But, no, he's actually going to commit to it. He has +1 arrow on the way. He feels confident that he can hold off this push from the Protoss player, swing into mutas eventually, and just be super obnoxious. But Classic is going to find the high ground. He's going to find his way on up before the army is totally in position, and it's a roughly equivalent army supply. Archon's getting it dropped right on top of the front here. Immortals finding their value as well, but it's a damn fine concave from Dark to start. Zealots getting on top of things. Archon's moving on forward, looking to trap things here. Ravagers on the north side are starting to fall, and here's the big deal. When the Archons get on top of things, that's the biggest of deals. Files will not land. The hot pickup, the hot failed warping, the hot slowdown warping, whatever you want to call it here, from Classic. Drones are getting pulled. Roaches are dying in the corner. And Classic, he's up 15 army supply. He takes down Dark. He is in the finals. GG.